Hey yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to My Life in Stacks, where we stack all the precious things in life. So as you can tell by the title of the video, Bitcoin or gold and silver? Which one would you rather have? So I wanted to make this video because me personally, and I'll just come right off the bat and tell you, I do both of them. I do cryptocurrency and I do gold and silver and I do other things, stocks, etc. So I wanted to make this video for some of you out there that maybe all you do is gold and silver, or maybe all you do is Bitcoin or cryptocurrency period. And just as a preface to what we're talking about, when I say cryptocurrency, I'm talking about Bitcoin. I'm not so much talking about the other cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin and Shibu and all the other crap coins out there. I'm talking about the legit coins that have proven themselves. And so far, Bitcoin's really the only one out there that you can safely, and I say safely with a bit of an undertone of not really safe, because it hasn't proven itself like gold and silver has over thousands of years, but safely enough to where more than likely it's not going to blow out overnight. It may drop in value overnight, but it's not going to blow out overnight. So that's what I mean when I say cryptocurrency. I'm talking about Bitcoin. But I digress to come back to the topic at hand, which is for the individuals that only stack gold and silver, or the individuals that only stack Bitcoin, or the individuals that maybe only do stocks or maybe only do real estate. Putting all your eggs in one basket, I don't have to tell you, you drop that basket, all your eggs are cracked, now you got no breakfast. All you're eating is bacon. We don't want to just eat bacon. Everybody likes their runny yolk and all that good stuff with breakfast. So don't be so closed-minded to only be in gold and silver, or only be in Bitcoin, or only be in the stock market, but rather opening up your horizons to different things. So let's jump right into it as far as what are the numbers when it comes to Bitcoin or when it comes to gold and silver that would stop people from being able to buy it. So if we can start off with Bitcoin. There are only 19.1 million Bitcoins that are mined. Now, if we, and actually there's only 19.1 million that are mined, and there's only 21 million that can be mined. So if we break that down, there's 56.1 million millionaires in the world, in the entire world. So there's not enough Bitcoins in the world for each millionaire to have one Bitcoin. Now, I don't know about you, but when you're talking about something that's worth stacking, you want to look at scarcity. You don't want something that there's an abundance of. If you're talking about stacking dirt, okay, there's tons and tons of dirt. It's not really that valuable. It's not really that much of a prized possession. Anybody anywhere can really get dirt. But when you're talking about something that's scarce, such as Bitcoin, then you're talking about something that has value. So there's 56.1 million millionaires in the world, and there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin that can be mined at the end of it. Right now, there's only 19.1 million that have been mined. So if you're looking at that, there's the scarcity aspect, which is what you want to see. Now, if we compare that to gold, and actually let's backtrack a little bit. Let's look at the percentage of scarcity. So if you take Bitcoin, which is made up of 100 million Satoshi. So for those of you that are new to knowing what Bitcoin is, there's one Bitcoin, which is one full Bitcoin. Right now, I think it's trading at about 29,000 and some change. So there's one Bitcoin. In that one Bitcoin, there's 100 million Satoshi, because you could break up one Bitcoin. If you can't afford a whole $29,000 Bitcoin, you can break it up to however many Satoshi you can afford. In one Bitcoin right now, there's 100 million Satoshi in there. So if we were to break that up and compare that to gold, which has a value of $2,000 for round numbers, let's just say $2,000, that would be 6,650,000 Satoshi. So we take those numbers, and 6,650,000 Satoshi multiplied times the value of $2,000 per what gold would be 1 ounce. And I don't want you guys to get lost here, because it's going to be some weird numbers. But if we were to take that and multiply that into how much we would need for each person in the world to have 6,650,000 Satoshi, which is $2,000 of Bitcoin, would be $53 quadrillion. 53 I can't even say it because you don't even say that number that often. $53 quadrillion. So we would need $53 quadrillion. How much is there, you ask? $1.9 quadrillion. Now, that is a big shortage. That's a big scarce number, which is actually 96.2%. So there's a 96.2% shortage of Bitcoin to world population, not just millionaires, to world population. So not only is there not enough Bitcoins for each millionaire to have one, but there's not enough Satoshi, which is Bitcoin. There's not enough Bitcoin for each person in the world to have the equivalent of $2,000 worth, which would be $2,000 worth of gold, which would be 1 ounce. Now let's jump into the aspect of gold. Now you have gold, which is ever been mined is 6,683,968,000 ounces, which is about 208,000 tons. We take that number and you take that to the world population, which is 8 billion and change. That creates a shortage of, I think it was 16.92%. So there's a shortage of gold. And now we're not just talking millionaires, that was just a fact, but we're talking about the factual evidence of not being enough gold for each person in the world to have 1 ounce. So there is a 16.92% shortage of gold in comparison to a 96.2% shortage of Bitcoin to each individual in the world. Now, granted, you got children, newborn babies, you got all the different kinds of things that they're not going to have that. But if we're to just break it up into, simple math, we're not trying to go crazy here. Break it up into simple math to seeing how much each individual would be able to get. That scarcity aspect is there, and it's there big, especially for Bitcoin, and so much so for gold, because gold, there's a, like I said, 16.92% shortage of gold in comparison to a 96.2% shortage of Bitcoin. So what does that mean for us? You want to stack things that have a scarce supply. Not only is there only going to be 21 million Bitcoins, but we don't know how much more gold there is in the ground, which I'm sure there's, tons and tons more. But eventually we're going to hit that limit, and we don't know what it is for gold. We know what it is for Bitcoin. Now, the other argument that people bring up are gold and silver have proven themselves year over year for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And Bitcoin has only been around for 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, whatever it's been. My answer to you would be, did you not think that when gold and silver first came out, that people went, hey, what is this thing obviously it didn't look like this, but what is that thing that I just dug out of the ground? Hey, that has value. What has value? Oh, because there's only so much of it in the ground. So we're giving it value. Same thing with Bitcoin. We're giving it a value because there's only so much that can be mined. The value aspect is there. That's why Bitcoin's at 29 whatever thousand it is at. And that's the reason why gold's at its 2,000 or 1,900 and change, whatever it's at. These aspects of scarcity are there, which then create the value. So in that, I would like to bring up the next topic, which would be, why is nobody saying, hey, let's get both Bitcoin and silver, baby, all in one? You see what that is? 1 ounce round of Bitcoin. Can't call it a coin, but it's a round. Bitcoin round. And that would be my answer to it. Why not both? Why wouldn't you be able to stack gold, silver, and your Bitcoin? For those of you that don't know, this is a ledger, which is a cold storage wallet where you store, technically you don't store your Bitcoin, but you store the keys to your Bitcoin. I digress. That could be another video if you guys want to learn more about that. But I go back to the point, which is, why can't we have gold? Why can't we have silver? And why can't we have Bitcoin? All three have value, all three are scarce, and all three are something that can allow us to prepare for the future things that are at hand, such as inflation, deflation, the disappearance of the dollar, the transfer to CBDC, and whatever else the government has in store for us that we have no idea. Just some food for thought. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are buying Bitcoin, or if you guys are buying gold, or if you guys are buying silver. Let me know what you guys are buying. I'll catch you guys in the next video. And don't forget to keep on stacking all the precious things in life.